Well, hello and welcome back to your weekly look at Tiffin University Dragon Basketball. Hi everybody, I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons. To my right, head coach Tom Church, and this is Dragon Basketball Weekly. Coach, said it to you just a minute ago, it had to be a pretty fun ride home. We got some few games to go over, but let's talk about that big win real quick. What your Dragons got last night on the road at Cedarville.
Boy, it was massive. I mean, just the adversity that we had been facing. We were down a few guys. We had just gotten beaten overtime. Great bounce back game for our guys. Super proud of them. Hung in there together, and it wasn't like Cedarville played bad. I mean, they hit shot after shot, especially at the end. We were able to hit our free throws, and I'll tell you what, that was a fun locker room after the game and a fun bus ride home.
Had to be able to talk a little bit more about that game here in a minute. Let's talk about the other two games. We'll just barely touch on the Hillsdale game. And game that Hillsdale came out here and basically just did everything they wanted to, didn't let your Dragons get into what you wanted to do, and credit them. They came out and did what they had to do and got a win.
Yeah, and then after the game, I don't, it's one of those things where sometimes you just have those games.
That's what I looked at.
And everybody was just not on the same page, and I take a lot of the responsibility of that, to where I think offensively too, we just could never really get going. And they're so good. They are so good offensively with their cutting and moving. And, we got some early stops. But even being down 13 at half, it just didn't feel like we were, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we were in the game. So, and then we had to make a decision there with about 10 minutes to go. We've got another game. We had another game on Saturday. So, they got us. We certainly weren't at our best, and you gotta take it for what it was and move on. You cannot dwell on those things.
No.
Because the more you dwell on those, it's going to carry over to the next game. So, we were obviously hurt by it and all that stuff. But, I mean, next day you got to come in here and go to work.
Yeah, what I said, the highs can't be too high, the lows can't be too low. You need a little bit of that even keel. And the Dragons after that had to go on the road to Thomas More, a tough place to play. And the Dragons, you ended up falling in overtime, 76-72. Credit them a big 6-1 run at the start of overtime to get them a lead. But you're able to battle back. It was pretty nip and tuck throughout. Able to battle back. Morgan Taylor got you a big bucket with 10 seconds left to put you up by 2. They were able to hit a couple free throws to send it to overtime at the end.
Yeah, that one stings. Last night's game helped a little bit with that sting. But up to with 7 seconds left. And they had a sideline out of bounds play, and I give the coach credit, their coach credit, because we did not think that they would. Now we talked about switching some screens, and we did not think that they were going to lob that ball though the way they did. And that was 7 seconds left. We thought maybe they would do some sort of high ball screen or get it to Reed Jolly, who's a very, very good player for them, and was having a really, really good game. And even with all that said, we really we got just a little bit out of position. And fouled a 3-point shooter, and those things happen, and no one play ever loses or wins a game, because we certainly had opportunities up to that point. But we, to not walk away with a W after playing so well on the road, and that was a long bus ride home. And I had told my wife, I said, and I told the guys, I said, I didn't think I could feel any worse after Thursday's game, and then Saturday rolls around where it was on the road where I thought we were good enough to win, and we just didn't make that one play at the end. But again, we got back in here on Sunday, had to regroup.
Yeah, quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround, 3 games in 5 days, and nobody's going to feel sorry for you in this league. That's for sure.
Well, the game at Thomas More, Morgan Taylor led you in scoring with 26. West chipped in, Wesley Jordan with 25. And Brandon Swaby led you in rebounding with 8. And that was just another one of them games where the 3-point shooting just wasn't going down. And credit Thomas More, they did a real good job on the glass against your kids as well. But like you said, you came back home, you had to regroup, and then go down to Cedarville, who was, a 9-game winner, I think, coming into last night. And a game in which Cedarville's announcers, as I watched the game, were very complimentary of your foul shooting. You guys shot 86% from the foul line in that game last night, and 46% from the floor. And the foul shooting seems to be becoming a little bit more consistent, and with not only making the buckets but getting to the foul line a little bit more.
Yeah, and we needed every single one of them. And we were up 7 with just over a minute to go, and they had to start fouling. So that's
they did a great job of extending that final minute.
Yeah, and we had to make every single one of them, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, we knew we were going to have to go down there and take the game because they weren't going to give it to us. But gosh, up 7, and we just could not seem to get that one stop that we needed. But we always try to keep it to a 2-possession game, and you got to make the free throws.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so we were able to keep it to a 2-possession game, even then with them hitting the threes. But I mean, you look at the box score, and there's just so many ways you could go. And you know, Mo 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He goes for 20. Drew 7 fouls, 9 assists to only 2 turnovers.
Right.
Ian Lopez goes 5 of 7. He made 5 of our 6 threes and
good
goes
thing
for
he was
24.
shooting last night.
You know, Wes again, another monster game at 23. And another guy is John Muhammad was a plus 12,
right?
Who really stepped up off the bench and gave us great minutes.
He didn't score a lot of points, but those couple points he scored, you needed him when he scored.
He made his free throws, but on the defensive end, you know, that was where we were able to really kind of hold them in check. And Moffmer still goes for 19, you know, and he's just an unbelievable player. But he never really, I don't know if he ever really made consecutive buckets and really got going into his rhythm, because he can go for an easy 30 like that
for sure.
So we just kind of grinded it out yesterday. We never let them take a lead more than 4 points. We always kind of hit that bucket, and then we hung around in the second half, and then we were able to hit a couple buckets, especially Mo and Ian. I mean, they were hitting some big shots down the stretch there, and then we relied on our defense, which we're going to do all year. Yeah,
well, you're faced the highest scoring team in the league, and you're able to make them play the basketball the way you want them to play it. Just like we mentioned about a couple games ago. Sometimes when a visiting team can go in and impose their will, I mean, that makes your day so much better.
Yeah.
It really increases your chance of winning.
Defensively, the first 5 to 6 minutes of that game, I think we really set a tone that was like, hey, you're going to be in for a dogfight tonight. You know, we're going to be physical, and we played without fouling, which was the big piece to it.
That's the big point on the foul shooting. And I don't know if maybe was there an emphasis of getting to the basket and trying to get to the foul line, because you had a plus 20 free throw.
Well, they run a matchup zone, and they run it really well. So we had to kind of change. You know, we run motion, but we had to change up some of our cuts, which I think got us some easy baskets. But when they run that matchup, we were able to get Wes isolated in the post one-on-one. And when he's one-on-one, you know, you're going to take those odds, no matter who's covering him. So he was really, really able to impose his will down low. And just an unbelievable team win.
It's a fun gym. It looks. I've never been in their gym, but watching it online,
they have a great atmosphere. They draw a ton of fans. And it was kind of a weird, it was a Monday night game, so it wasn't a whole lot probably going on campus. So it was a good turnout, as far as the crowd goes. But we were able to kind of silence them at times throughout the game, where we had the lead, we hung around, they took a lead, and I think it was like, okay, here they go, or they thought we're going to pull away.
Yes.
We were able to hit a couple big shots. And then again, just leaned on them on the defensive end. I mean, we really have been able to sit down and guard, and we just have so many guys where we can switch, which makes it easier on your defense. You can switch, you can guard in the post, and we got it done yesterday. And it's just such a huge win for where we were trending with our injuries and losing in overtime and getting blown out on Thursday at home. To be able to have that grittiness to come back and win was super proud of our guys.
Yeah, defensive end, you mentioned. I was cleaning the kitchen while I was watching the game last night, and you didn't allow they have some really good three-point shooters.
Really,
you did not allow them to get into the rhythm behind the arc at all.
No, and they hit a couple here and there, and obviously they hit some at the end of the game, but they really never got to where it was like bang, 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 And I used a timeout in the first half. We had gotten up, I think, 8 or 9, and they hit a quick 2 and a quick 3. And I called a timeout, and just kind of slowed it down just a little bit, because we did not want them to see the ball go in consecutive times. Because once they hit a few, they get going. So,
and we mentioned Ian's name with his shooting. We also led you in rebounding with 7 as well.
And he was tremendous on the defensive end. I mean, just an all around great game last night for him.
You gotta say your voice sounds better than it normally does at this time of the year.
Well, I'm maybe not having to do as much yelling with our veteran group.
There's some games when your voice gets a little bit hoarse as you work your way.
And we just played 3 games in 5 days.
Yeah. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be a little rough today. Well, it's no rest for the weary here for the Dragons as we get right back at it here. just a couple days from now, Thursday night, when Finley comes rolling to town. An interesting way the schedule plays itself out, that you guys will play each other once in about 14, 16 days or something like that. You play each other twice.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun for both schools to have your rivalry here, and then when we get to go over there.
Yeah, and they're right in the thick of things as well. And they've had a couple, they just won last night. They played at Ohio Dominican.
Yep.
So they've won 2 out of their last 3. And but you know as well as I do that, like, Tiffin, Finley, it doesn't matter what the records are. It doesn't matter where you're at in the standings.
Yes, sir.
And we've already told our guys you could throw all that out the window because it's Tiffin, Finley, and it's going to be a big game, great crowd. It's going to be a really, really good atmosphere.
Speaking of the crowd, get here early, Dragon fans, because I guarantee you the Finley fans will be here early. I love the way that they travel with their team, so get here early.
They'll be here in full force. It's a doubleheader with the women's program, so get here early, get your seats. It's going to be a great college atmosphere.
And I think it's the Dragon Den clothing drive night that night as well. So if you're a student or you're a Dragon fan or you work here on campus, you have some gently worn business attire that some of our students that may need that kind of thing can get their hands on. Bring it in and donate it on Thursday night.
Athletics is kicking in, and Career Services I think is running that, and it's going to be out in the hallway. So that's a great thing to be able to do for our game. And
normally this week you'd have the Thursday, then Saturday off. You have the Saturday off, but you got that quick turnaround with a makeup game with Ohio Dominican coming up on Monday. So some weird scheduling quirks for you here towards the end of the season.
And it worked. We're good on Monday now, so that's fine with us. So the rescheduled game really fit into our schedule well with having that Saturday off. So for us, getting 2 days to prepare for Finley is a lot of time for us compared to these last few days. So we'll play Thursday. Obviously off Saturday, no game, and then we got that turnaround, and then we'll have 3. The following week, Monday, Thursday, road game Monday, home Thursday, road game Saturday. So we got a lot to look forward to over the next 3 weeks, and it's going to be a tight race. And we were in this position last year, and we're used to it. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, we'll toss the ball up, we'll tip it off, we'll see who can score more points, see what happens.
One game at a time. That's all we're looking at.
You said there's a lot coming up, but there's not a lot left. That's what's kind of crazy about it. A lot coming up in a very short amount of time, as teams are going to be jockeying for those conference tournament positions, the regional rankings as well. All of that stuff is playing a part of everything right now. It's just going to be a lot of fun to see how it all plays itself out.
And it's like with this point rating system, and your points are changing. We're not even playing, and your points may change because teams are winning and losing. So we've got to get back to where we're holding court at home. And then trying to steal a few on the road. That's all you can do. So
this Thursday, it all starts with the Dragons having Finley coming to town. As I said, no game on Saturday. What's interesting, on Saturday we'll have our first ever Tiffin University men's lacrosse varsity contest.
Nice.
Here as our newest varsity program on Tiffin University campus. On Saturday we'll have a noon start. We'll be broadcasting that. So it's nice of you guys to take that Saturday off so we can concentrate on men's lacrosse that day.
And that's and you might see us out there as well. So we'll have to work on practice, reschedule around that. So.
Should be a lot of fun. If you'd like more information on Tiffin University men's basketball, the men's lacrosse team, and all the athletic programs at Tiffin University, you can get that at gotiffindragons.com. Coach, final word to get the fans out here on Thursday night to cheer on your Dragons against our crossroad rivals in Finley.
There's not going to be any better atmosphere than Tiffin Finley on Thursday. So, no matter what you're doing, try to change some plans and get out here Thursday. Women's and men's game, get here early, and where Tiffin and Finley are at right now in the standings,
both teams need it.
Both teams need it, so it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Yeah, get you an early dinner with the family, then have your entertainment after dinner right back here behind us at the Gilmore Student Center. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Again, great win last night. Let's go get some more.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to the head coach of the women's program, Josh Mason. That's coming over here next here on the Dragon Basketball Weekly. Well, welcome back to Dragon Basketball Weekly, your weekly look at Tiffin University basketball. Now joining me to my right, head coach of the women's program, Josh Mason. And Coach, welcome back into the program. Feels like it's been a few minutes. Have you seen you guys playing back here? Been on the road lately?
Yeah. Had 2 tough ones last week, but we're glad to be back in the Gilly.
Well, you first took on Ursuline earlier in the week, and that's a team I still harken back. I think that was your opening conference game, maybe way back in December. Feels like a long time ago, but that's a team that I know you like, and you like the way that they pressure the basketball and stuff. And again, both your games, you could say it was a slow first quarter last week that maybe spelled doom for you.
Yeah. Both first quarters. The differential there was just about the differential at the end of the game, which again showed the girls that we can play with these teams. You just got to do it for 4 quarters.
Right.
So I was proud of how the kids responded, especially given our situation. They kept fighting and continued to work throughout the 3 quarters. But in conference play, especially playing teams twice, you can't afford to start off slow.
Right. Well, it was an interesting game about the game against Ursuline. It seems like when your kids started shooting the ball better, so did Ursuline. So every time you were trying to build that momentum to go on a run, they just weren't letting you.
Yeah. No, as we went on a run, they started scoring a little bit. We had to try to do some different things to get stops. And unfortunately, like you said, when the pace started going as quick as they would like, just struggled to get a couple stops down the stretch.
Kirsten Williams led you in scoring in that game with 20 points, and she had a good offensive games for you in both games, going for 20 in both contests this past week.
Yeah, K-Dub definitely balled out last week. Saturday, I believe it was her career high, single game career high.
Excellent.
Against Thomas More. But the best thing about her is she's doing a little bit of everything for us. So I know the points are what show up in the box score, but there's a lot of other things she does for us.
Well, she's got handles the ball for you when you need her to. She a lot of times is guarding players, sometimes in the post where she isn't the most comfortable. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You can see some of the things she does for you besides putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, and 5 years here at Tiffin and playing 30 plus minutes, that wear and tears on your body a little bit, but we appreciate how much she grinds for us.
Savannah Richards, our girl, has been playing here for a long, long time. Had 13 points for you in the game at Ursuline as well.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Sav's just a gamer. She wants to do whatever she can to get this team over the hump. So we know that in those types of games, someone that's not going to back down from a challenge is Sav. So we look forward to her continuing to score here as we move forward.
I think it's probably interesting for your young kids when it's like you mentioned. It's no secret that your team's struggling this year, but your 2 seniors that have been here for a long time look like when they're on the floor, it's not affecting them. They still care about the school, they still care about their team, and they care about the young kids and their development. It seems like.
Yeah, we had a great discussion about the importance of. We're playing for Tiffin. We want to win for Tiffin. And I think with Kirsten Williams and Savannah Richards, there's no better two to emulate what it means to truly play for the green and gold. So, it's awesome to see what they've kind of demonstrated to the kids and the importance of, obviously we want to play for our teammates, we want to play for the program, but we're also representing everybody that goes to this university.
Certainly. And then one of your young players coming off the bench led you in rebounding with 4 rebounds, also chipped in with 8 points, 2 of those rebounds, a couple offensive rebounds. That was Peyton. Am I saying her name right? Maggie?
Yep. Peyton's been she's been going through the process, coming to work every day.
Well, her minutes are increasing.
Yeah, slowly grinding and trusting what's going on. We've put her in some situations to excel in, and she sees the opportunity. And we're looking forward to see her steps forward here as we end the year.
Is that one of the important things with young players? Make sure you're putting them in a position where they can be successful, not making them put it on their own. Let's put you in a position where you don't have to work as hard to be successful. For
sure. We want to put kids in the best situation for the team to succeed, but more importantly, we want the individual to succeed. Not only is it a physical grind in college basketball, it's also a mental grind. So we don't want to put kids in a situation where they mentally start downing themselves. So it is a process with that, and I appreciate her patience and understanding where her role was, and now she's in a situation where she's earning more minutes and she's doing exactly what we asked.
But as a team, your kids go 13 to 15 at the foul line a game at Ursuline. That's probably right around the percentage you would like to see, if not 100%.
Yeah, that was one of our more free throw attempts in that game. I thought our kids were doing well attacking the basket and playing off 2 feet. So the last 2 games, we've done some things well offensively. Just got to make sure like you said, we start off the first quarters hot.
Another game at Thomas More. I can tell you this: I don't know if you were able to watch the stream back that they had done, but they were very complimentary of your kids and where you guys were when you were an assistant coach when you made that Sweet 16 run, and they were talking about how they could see us really building back into that, something like that, and they were very complimentary of you as well. So I wanted to pass that along to you in case you didn't get a chance to watch the replay of the Thomas More game. Like you said, it's another game where both teams Dragons started out slow, and Thomas More made 16 threes in that contest. That's a tough one to battle back from.
Yeah, I do appreciate the announcers from Thomas More. I think a good point to that is just remembering the fact that it wasn't too long ago.
That's what they're saying. It wasn't that long ago.
That Tiffin did win the GMAC, and we went to the Sweet 16, and it can be done here. It can be done here. So although the process might be taking a little bit longer than we anticipated, we're taking steps in the right direction. As far as, in order to take those steps in the right direction, got to defend the 3-point line.
Yeah.
So we struggled a little bit in transition, and that's kind of where it all started. And then opposite of us, starting off kind of slow. When a team gets hot early in the first, that rim looks a little bigger. When
yeah, absolutely. Every time down the floor, it looks a little bigger. Kirsten Williams, as you said, you had a career high of 21 points in that game. And Grace Craig led you in reboundings with 6 and also chipped in 8 points as well.
Yeah, Grace is another kid that's she's a gamer, grinder as well. Like, she just doesn't matter who the opponent is, doesn't matter who the scorer is. She's going to give 110% effort and put herself in a position to help our team get some points and get some stops. And so she's a freshman, she's still learning. And we're really looking forward to seeing how far she progressed, not only this year, but in the future.
Well, one of your seniors, Pistol Brinson, had a big 3-point play for you late in that second half. She ended up with 7 points, one of her better offensive outputs of the year for you guys.
Yeah, Pistol was put in the position to start, and couldn't be more proud of her and how she kept control of the game, helped with our pace. She helped us in transition defense a little bit there in the second half. So for her to kind of show her veteran leadership of what it means to be kind of a floor general, I was really proud of her game there.
Yeah, because she really doesn't look for her offense a whole lot. Maybe she did when she first got to Tiffin compared to where she's at now. But that 3-point play that she had there, I think it was in the fourth quarter, it seemed like there was an opportunity where she realized, we got to get the ball in the bucket. I'm just going to do this myself, And she went out there and took care of it, got that 3-point play. It was pretty cool to see. Well, got a big one this week. Got the rivalry game this Thursday when Finley coming to town. I believe it's a Play for K game as well this Thursday. So let's talk a little bit about Finley.
Yeah, Finley, they've been a solid team all year. I think they're only getting better as the games progress. She's in her second year and also kind of in that rebuilding process. But the kids have bought in and have done a great job there. So we know we got our work cut out for us. But at the end of the day, the records don't matter when it comes to a rivalry game.
Absolutely.
And so I know both teams are looking forward to that.
It's going to be a lot of fun here on Thursday. And you have a couple kids from the Liberty Benton schools on the other side of Finley. So there's familiarity between the Dragons and the Oilers, not only from the kids since they've been here, but from the kids a lot of kids when they were going to high school and stuff, they knew about what was going on between Tiffin and Finley.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also the blessing of having a fifth-year Savannah Richards coming from Liberty Benton, and also a freshman coming from Liberty Benton with Riley Irwin. So, we're anticipating a big crowd, especially with the Play for K game, which is another, kind of point we like to make to our kids about the importance of being selfless and you're playing for things other than yourselves. Mm-hmm. So that's a great reminder of being able to do that.
We got to make sure our fans get in here early because we know that Finley travels very, very well. They'll be bringing lots of fans over. So, like we said with Coach Church, take your family out to dinner early. After kids come home from school, get an early dinner. Here's where your entertainment after dinner will happen, and you can go home and get the kids in bed at a fairly normal time. But yeah, get out here and support the Dragons as they take on Finley. The atmosphere for that game on Thursday night is going to be nothing short of spectacular. For me and the entertainment value, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. We've been talking to our freshmen about the difference between playing a GMAC game and then playing Finley here in the Gilmore. Mm-hmm. It's a great atmosphere for college basketball, especially on the women's side who typically doesn't get these kind of environments. Love the fact that our kids come out, our parents come out, and it gets rocking in here.
And the scheduling quirk is that we haven't seen them yet, and now you go see them now and then 2 weeks from tonight, from Thursday as well. So interesting how the schedule works out. You guys will have a pretty crisp memory of what happened the last time when you guys get together over there.
Yes. So fortunately for us, we get the rivalry week 2 weeks separated from each other. But again, at this time of the year, those are the type of games we want to be in.
It's going to be a lot of fun this Thursday night, 5:30. Then nothing for you on Saturday, right? Saturday off this week?
Yep, Saturday we're going to be off and, supporting the boys either there or from afar.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Coach. And you said next week maybe have a little surprise for the folks, maybe less camera time for you. You talking about that?
Yeah, I think.
But you love the camera.
I do. I love the camera, but I think they've seen enough of me. So, I welcome you all next week, and you're going to hear from some of our players.
All right. He doesn't love the camera. Just give him a hard time. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
This is our weekly look at Tiffin University Dragon Basketball. It's Dragon Basketball Weekly. Catch the Dragons this Thursday as they take on Finley, the radio, WTUD, TUDragonradio.com, and on the video side at the Great Midwest Digital Network. Till next time, I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons. Thanks for joining us on Dragon Basketball Weekly.